Okay. I'd like to call to order the Tufton Selectmen's Meeting of Monday, April 21st, 2025. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Flag has been lowered to half-staff. We had a presidential order today to lower our flag to half-mast because of for the Pope. Okay.
I'm sure it happens.
Okay.
Who usually does that? Is that Jack?
Yeah. Or the police. First one out, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I can do it on my way out too. I don't care. Public input. There is no public. So we'll go on to the approval of minutes. We have minutes from
Just resets again.
it's resets, yeah, I know, and I just had them right in front of me. Spend time getting my stuff in order.
Did it get out of order?
And it's out of order.
So we got the 25th and 31st work sessions.
Yeah, oh, here they are.
And then 7th.
Got 'em. All right, we've got minutes from Wednesday, March 25th, which was a selectmen's work session.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the 25th as written.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We have selectmen's work session minutes from Monday, March 31st.
I'll make a motion that we approve those minutes as written.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And minutes of the selectmen's meeting, Monday, April 7th.
I'll make a motion that we approve those minutes as written.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay. And appointments, transfer station,
5:15.
now 4:30.
Yeah.
Oh.
They did get the updated one.
They didn't?
They did.
They did.
So we should be here.
Yeah, I just texted them.
Why does... Why do I have this one?
We all have drafted it, but
Okay.
there's a confusion.
So toss it.
Yeah.
Okay. I can do that.
Well,
Do you want to do the consent calendar?
yeah, I was just doing that. So we'll move on to the consent calendar. We've got a pretty thick consent calendar. I assume that both of you have gone through this and read everything that's in here. For the sake of the public, I'll read what's on the cover. We have a personnel action form, a COLA increase. Did this one get missed?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. A COLA increase for one of our employees. Signing of the MS 232 for 2025. Contract for 19 Milebrook water quality monitoring. Notice of appointment for Lloyd Wood to the TAC, which is the Transportation Advisory Committee. And this is a reappointment. A notice of appointment for Seth Charest as a member of the Parks and Recreation, 1-year term. This is a new youth position that we've created. Notice of appointment for Rebecca Owen as a full member of the Parks and Recreation. A gravel tax levy for map 65-3-7. An administrative abatement for map 55-1-6-19. A veterans exemption for map 56-3-7. an elderly exemption for map 59-3-3, charitable exemptions for Tufton Borough Historical Society, Camp Sentinel Ministries,
It is a mystery.
Camp Sentinel Ministries, Melvin Village Church, Second Christian Church, Lakes Region Conservation Trust, and United Methodist Church.
I'll move that we sign the consent decrees.
Second.
Any further discussion or questions?
Reading through the contract on 19 Network, I did notice what I think is a change in that they are gonna monitor the outflow at 19 Mile Bay. So there's gonna be another testing.
Yeah, that was a discussion that we had with the Conservation Commission, just to get another level of monitoring.
Yeah.
And I believe we discussed that and we were all on board with that.
That's what I recall.
I'm glad to see that they added it into the contract. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Action items. We have discussion of the police station, but before we do that, we're going to go into non-public to discuss some legal issues, and then we'll come out and talk about that. Correspondence. In the correspondence folder, we have certificates of achievement for Jack Parsons, who attended a couple of courses, one on phishing, internet phishing, and cybersecurity training. Revision Energy, status of the solar project, and I believe we discussed that last week. There's no change. They're ready to go except for the
State level permit.
the state permitting for the
Yes.
DES permitting. The award of the hazardous mitigation grant for Canaan Road. We've been awarded that grant, although we don't have any guarantee of money yet. Same with the Union Wharf Road grant. We've been awarded that, but no discussion of monies yet. We have received the award from the Department of Safety grant for the body cameras for the police department, body worn cameras. Notice of final tax date from the tax collector to the Bureau of Tax and Land Appeals, the BTLA.
Is there an appeal? I didn't get that far through that. Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Got lost in the codes.
In accordance with the provisions of RSA 76:13, the tax collector shall notify the Board of Tax and Land Appeals in writing of the date on which the final tax bill was sent, which is the tax bill that establishes the total tax liability under RSA 76:1A. Complete the definition below. Final property tax bill mailed on 11/18/24. This is just saying that we conform to the second year of 2024.
But the ability
Taxes.
to appeal the tax bill has ended, I think, April 1st. But, so there are no appeals attached to that?
No, and there's no mention of appeals. A Board of Adjustment notice of a hearing, an upcoming hearing, map 28-2-3. Tufton Borough Free Library Q1 2025 financial report. And letters of gratitude from Lakes Region VNA, caregivers of Southern Carroll County, Lakes Region Humane Society, CASA, and the American Red Cross. That is it. We can do town administrator and selectmen's updates. Town administrator?
On Friday, was it Friday? I was on the phone with DES and HEB on the culverts, and it was basically an administrative kickoff on reporting reporting, they will be scheduling a site visit for all 4 culverts, and HEB will be present. So we'll need to set up, and we should have in the next couple of weeks, a draft contract from HEB to move forward with them.
Okay. Do any one of us or all of us or portion thereof need to be involved in?
You're all welcome to attend. I'm gonna attend just out of curiosity, because I don't know where all the culverts are located, or even all the roads for that matter. So it'll be several weeks yet,
If it's done on a Friday,
And when is it, do you know?
not yet.
Oh, okay.
if it's done on a Friday, I can attend.
Okay.
And I wouldn't mind.
If it's done any day then this Thursday, I can attend.
Okay,
But
I'll let you all know.
Okay, thank you.
It'll be a few weeks. Hopefully not black fly season.
Oh, right in the heart of it.
Kinda.
Bring your bug spray.
The Conservation Commission's grant for Merrill Lake is all completed in the system, and Steve is just reviewing it and waiting for his okay to hit the button.
And that, is the work done? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Just the
yeah.
application for
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with town council on some items this coming Wednesday, and in an effort to have a more aligned schedule, I'm hoping it works out that I'm here at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and 10 on Monday and Thursday. And Thursday will be the day that varies based on if there's a board meeting or not. And I have a longer Monday, because my Mondays tend to be my longest day here.
Okay. So this is in regards to the discussion we had?
Yep.
Okay.
Just to have standardized hours, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And Cammie and I do our best to make sure the office is always covered.
Thank you.
Okay. And Ashley signed up for the right to know law. Is that the hard road to travel? Is that what they name it? And Primex just opened their supervisor.
Academy.
Yeah, I was gonna call it camp. And so I'll be looking for a letter of recommendation.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's it.
Happy to write it, thank you. That's it? Chip?
I think I'd rather give mine after we do our non-public.
Okay,
Because most of mine has to do with that topic.
okay. All right, fair enough.
Chris
Dave?
is out of town.
Chris is out of town.
Okay, then I'll do Chris's portion because we're gonna give him a directive. So when last I was at the transfer station, we're talking about construction debris. And he claims that he talked to Ossipee, which did install a scale, and the cash flow worked out that the scale was actually paid for the first year. And I said, Chris, if that's true, then you may have changed my position on having a scale. So what I wanted him to put together and what I was gonna tell him tonight was we need to know the total tonnage of construction debris, or C&D, that left the facility last year, and the rate that we're paying for that, including the haulage, but also the tipping fees. And then he mentioned a rate that's being charged at Ossipee. I'm not gonna say it because I can't, it's just hearsay, I have no idea whether it's right or not.
Sure.
But the rate should conform to what we're getting charged. And if that's the case, I think we need to have a more active discussion next fall about putting a warrant together for a scale.
I'm generally in favor of it because I think,
I just hadn't seen an example, not to interrupt, but I hadn't seen an actual example of it, of the numbers.
Yep. and
I
that's
think
a,
if we can, and I'm sure we can go to Ossipee and ask. I mean, it's all public information anyway,
Sure.
so. But if those numbers actually are playing out, then I think it's probably a good idea to do that. You know, and I don't think the $170,000 is the right number for the scale either, so that might be different. The other thing I found out today, once again about Ossipee, but I was talking to people from Ossipee, is they bought an excavator for the town highway department for $180,000. Chris at transfer station is looking at excavators, and I think we've got $150,000 in that equipment line. And I'm not sure how big a one they bought, but if it's working on the highway, it's probably more than he needs.
I assume a rubber tracked excavator.
Yeah, I would think so at the transfer station.
Right.
You get all that paid in.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah, so there's a couple of good things. I think
That's
we
encouraging.
We can work on that. I had asked Jack to get us some estimates on electricity for both the police station and also the highway garage, because I think you can probably remember that we talked to Jim about getting that bid solidified so we know what we're talking about for money. So that's what I did. And
okay.
I'll report again about the rest of it when we get through the non-public.
All right. Dave?
Well, in a non-official capacity, so to speak, Jamie and I are looking at putting together something for the general public in town of Tuppenboro for training them in the realm of cybersecurity, getting people educated in, recognizing phishing emails, smishing, bogus phone calls, password handling, all the things that get people into trouble from a cybersecurity perspective. So that's we've just had a basic conversation about that. So that's kind of in the works, and hopefully we'll kick that off late May or first week of June. I know he's told me that with Bike Week coming the second week of June, I'm going to be avoiding that at all costs, of course. But generally that's kind of my time frame for doing that. And if we need to, I might record it. I'd like to record it actually. And if we need to do a second session, then I'll do that. That's to be determined based on whether how well it's attended and that kind of thing. So again, it's not an official capacity, but it's something because it's something that I already do, and I know there's a need in the town, especially given our demographic. It's probably not a bad idea.
I think that's a great offer.
No charge, of course. I mean, it's just
Sure.
public information.
Sure.
Getting people educated.
I'll be attending.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
I'll bring my phone with me, but it's only a landline. I had one other point that I was going to do. I talked with Jackie Rollins about the tax sale properties that we've been talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a warrant article passed in, I don't know, sometime in the 20-teens that restricted us from selling gifted property without a town vote. So in the same article that gave us unlimited ability to sell tax sale property, it exempted gifted property from that. Both the piece at the top of 171 there
Yep.
and the calendar property are both gifted property. So it would leave us with
Two.
two out there. And
2 to sell and 2 to get permission to sell.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
The,
I still think we should make, even if we do get permission to sell those, shouldn't we make the first offer to the people that, at least the properties that it came from? or do they need to be put out there for everybody first round?
You have to notify, we'll wait until Sager comes in, he can walk us through the law. But I think you have to offer to the general public. You can make a specific informational letter, for instance, to neighbors or where it came from or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
just to let them know that this is gonna be sold. But I think that's the limit of what we can do. We need to have, everyone has to have an equal opportunity to bid. Except for those of us in politics.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. And,
The trustee of the cemeteries came in and she said the property on Brown
Yep.
has a cemetery on it, and they think they're going, I don't know if that was a gifted one, but they're gonna be running out of space here based on how quickly they've been selling the last few years. And that's where they're focusing on having the next town cemetery.
Although we have additional property out here that's not in the cemetery that could be used for cemetery.
well, when the time comes, we should have
Sure.
to sit down with the cemetery commission and listen to them first.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Other than the work that we've been doing with the police station and whatnot, I don't have much to update on. Other than I have been talking, I've been exploring the opportunity of putting a blinking light at the intersection of 171 and Ledge Hill Road and Durgan Road, trying to figure out how to go about getting one. And so when I have that all put together, I'll let you know. But there is a cost. It's going to cost the town to put it up, including maintenance agreements and whatnot. It's doable, but we'll see what goes.
Hmm.
When I get everything put together, I'll bring it forward, and maybe we'll do a warrant article. Maybe we won't.
Yeah, I mean, when the townspeople spoke that they did not want a stop sign there,
Mm-hmm.
that was
Four-way stop.
a four-way
Four-way
stop.
stop, correct.
Correct. They spoke in that they didn't want that, and then there were others who suggested other things, including this.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when we're the ones that have to foot the bill and not the state.
Right.
So
The
I'm
state,
curious.
The state did tell us in the letter that we received last month that they have no interest in putting up a light for us.
Yep.
But they did invite us to do it on our
Yep.
own,
Yep. It's
on our dimes.
yeah, and I can't say I blame them if they feel strongly that that's the best thing to do.
Yep.
Why would they pay for something else?
Right.
I don't blame them at all.
Right. So I'm at least exploring the opportunity.
And I think it's a great idea.
See what
I
happens.
think we absolutely should.
That's it.
Police?
Is here. So come on up. Monthly update.
How are you this evening?
Very well. Yourself?
Good. Alright. So we had, for the month of March, we had 4 call-outs. As you can see, we didn't have any training for the month of March. Community policing calls are up from January 1st to March 31st this year, in retrospect for last year, same time frame. Directed patrols are up. Citations are substantially up. Accidents are up quite a bit. Our arrests are up from 1 this time last year to 5 this year. Our felonies are holding tight, and our longer term investigations are about par. And our calls for service are, roughly about 250 more this year than last year.
These are, aside from the accidents, it's sad to see the accident numbers going up, but these community policing, directed patrols, citations, arrests, these numbers are all impressive. You've made quite a turnaround.
Well,
in the last
I
year?
have to say that it's the team, you know, having a good crew to really be out there, be visible, and to take some action while they're out there when things are slow and we're not doing other stuff is the key to all that. So I appreciate that.
Good work.
With regard to the accidents, do you think it has, because the winter was maybe a little bit more, we had a little bit more of a winter than we normally do, or is it just that's the way it is?
A trend. Do you see a trend?
Is there
Right. It's hard for me to know about what all those 14 were this year. Here's what I can tell you is we always have a good number of deer strikes.
Oh.
So there's part of that.
Sure.
When the deer start moving and they cross the road and they don't yield to vehicles, we have a problem. The other thing would be we have had some that have slid off the road in some of this really wet stuff that's just kind of got down onto the hard pack and caused some issues. Those would be the only two things that I could say off the top of my head that I would think would be the cause at this point.
I was
Yeah,
just
on those, yeah.
merely curiosity.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. Because we only have 3 felonies for last year and this year. I spelled them out for you. Last year was 1 theft of a motor vehicle, from a motor vehicle, which was a firearm, and then 2 larcenies. And then this year, we had an aggravated assault. Intimidation would be, in this particular case, it's criminal threatening with a firearm, but the FBI stats that we have to report call it intimidation. And an habitual offender, which
Only one.
was that?
Only one.
Only one.
Only one. We must change vehicles.
What can I say?
I've seen a lot more than one.
What can I say? Right. Yeah. I believe you already know, but the grant for the body-worn cameras was approved by Governor's Council. I ordered them already, and as a matter of fact, a cardboard box showed up today. It's in my office. So the next step that we have to comply with that is I need to get a policy in place, which I have reached out to other chiefs to see what I could get that I can use to keep things going that
Sure,
way.
don't
We have to have a
reinvent the wheel.
policy. Right. State law mandates we have a policy, so that'll have to be put in place, and then the issue is going to be is the training to use them and that kind of deal when we sit down with the officers and go over state law policy that I'll have in place, and then how we're going to operate the body-worn cameras. So those are some of the steps coming down the tubes.
Is there any training from the supplier that's available?
I believe that there is some, when we all will have an account for Axon, so we can go online. There is going to be something online there that we can go over. So that's one spot. And Police One online training actually has, I think it's a couple-day online training of just implementing body-worn camera stuff that if I can ever get a break, we'll start seeing about getting into that. So, yeah.
What's your and I'm not looking for a solid date here, but just ballpark when you think you'll be have them on in the field. Are we talking next month? Are we talking November?
It would be really nice to have them on the officers in June, end of June,
Okay.
before summer.
Yeah.
I believe that's the goal that I had established for goals throughout that process of the grant. So I think it was around June or July to meet that deadline. So
Okay.
just a matter of just getting something in place.
I know with the policies and the
Yeah.
training, obviously, and
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah, like to do it before we start getting busier,
Yeah.
and that we have them for the summer.
Yeah.
I think would be important. So that's
Yeah.
my goal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Received 2 quotes for police vehicle outfitting. The lowest bidder was New England Vehicle Outfitters, who actually we've used for the past couple cruisers. That bid does include graphics install on the new vehicle, I feel that we should go with them. They've done a great job in the past. And when I spoke to them last week about trying to confirm the bid that they had thrown my way, some of the things that they had talked about was if they have a certain number of Tahoes that they're going to be upfitting, they're trying to order in bulk to try to keep costs down. There was one company that was Canadian based. I think it was for the console that goes between the seats. He had made a comment about the fact that they've already put a tariff included into their price. So when I got the bid back from him, he did make a comment that they were looking for a different console business type of thing to try to see if we can keep some of those costs down. It still falls within about a couple $100 of where we were at before, so it's not outrageous. So that's just something that this is the first time that I've kind of heard that start to come and trickle back down to us, but it's just something to be aware of. I signed a purchase order for the new police mobile radio for the vehicle. That was state bid. State bid was through Ospey Mountain Electronics for it. And so I turned around and you just have to sign a form saying, hey, you'll commit to this, they'll get it ordered. So I went ahead and did that. The graphics have already been ordered as well. And the MDT computer for the police vehicle, I confirmed that bid. We were good to go on that. They did say that to get everything built and out to us, it's going to be about 6 to 8 weeks. So I went ahead and got that rolling as well, so that we don't have any additional costs down the road if we start running out of our window of opportunity for the bids that we've received already. And everything put together, just as an FYI, everything is well under where we are at for the high number for the monies for the vehicle.
Good.
So,
One story I heard, and it may be completely apocryphal, was that the reason that it took us so long to get the cruisers that we had ordered previously was because the equipment for this upfitting had actually been installed on somebody else's cruiser, and so we had to wait to get replacements for those upfitted pieces. Any validity to that?
what I am aware of is if you and I are playing on the same deck of cards, I believe that part of it was the manufacturing process was behind because of COVID. It was the 2022 vehicle that we got in 21, I believe, or somewhere around in there. New England Vehicle Outfitters had us at number 80 in the queue for an install, and they had ordered, just as I just stated, they had ordered in bulk before. Some vehicles in front of us were the exact same type of vehicle, and in order to get those processed so we could get in, they utilized some of the stuff for our order to that vehicle to outfit it. And I do not believe that caused any further time delay. I believe they ordered stuff and it was pretty timely to get there by the time we got around. I think it was just their choice from a business management standpoint to say we can get vehicles in and out so that these people can get their vehicles in a more timely fashion at the end of the list. So they did what they did. I don't believe that they had ever checked in with us. They just, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. That's about all that I know.
Yeah, I mean, that
yeah.
probably fleshes it out as much as it needs to be, but we're not paying 100% for this stuff until we get the
Correct.
vehicle anyway.
Right.
We're
Correct.
getting a purchase order, not
That's right.
a deposit or something.
Right. Yep. The graphics, I will tell you, the graphics I went ahead and ordered. I used my department credit card to do so, and those are already in the works because those were a custom thing. Other than that,
Well,
all this other stuff is.
We're the only customer that I know about. Maybe there's another one out there.
We are custom, absolutely,
Yes, we are.
yes.
You sticking with black?
Yeah, black Tahoe, and that same grayish color scheme that we have on Tom's and mine will be carried over into this new one. Yeah, yeah. And I believe that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice work. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
We're going to be going into non-public discussing some legal issues.
Okay.
You want to? You're welcome to stay
Okay.
for this
You're
discussion.
our legal guy.
All right. I can do so.
That being said, I believe that we are ready to go into non-public. So I'm going to move that we go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, number 2, section L. Consideration of legal advice provided by legal counsel either in writing or orally to one or more members of the public body, even where legal counsel is not present. Roll call vote.
All be yes.
Dolphin, yes.
Murray, yes. Okay, we live or Memorex? Okay,
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we come out of non-public and that we seal the minutes.
I will second that motion.
any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
After copious considerations and discussion, I'd like to make a motion that we award the, okay, in explanation for this people out in TV land, we've split the police building project into elements. So the first element that we're gonna award is tonight, which is the site work, which includes the septic system, general site work, excavation, paving, landscaping, exterior utility line trenching, light poles, under slab insulation, because it's a 4-foot frost wall with a slab, and foundation. So all of the building footprint is gonna be handled with this bid. We've gotten a couple of different quotes from different people over the course of the last 6 months, and this is the contractor that has come forth with the most complete and most reasonable bid. It's for $475,050 to complete all of the work that's just been listed. And the contractor's name is Jory Bailey, Jory, Bailey, Bailey. And I'm gonna make a motion that we award Mr. Bailey this contract.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hallelujah.
As the project moves forward, we've got estimates on the other elements, which are the building itself. We haven't finalized the estimates on the electric or the heat and HVAC. And we do have an estimate or a bid on the domestic water and plumbing. So
Good.
there you have it.
Good, long time coming. This gets the project well on the way.
All right.
All right. Excellent. Is there any other business to come before the board tonight?
Thank you, Jamie.
Gotta sign all those things.
All set?
Do you have anything else?
No?
I guess
I know if you want to go home.
we're gonna have to, when do we next meet? It's not for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So we have to consider that we'll probably have to have a work session to do contract signing,
Yes.
Yep.
because we need to go through that process before and the contract language that our attorneys created has got some insurance requirements, et cetera, that have to be verified.
Good. Good. Yeah, I have no problem doing a work session before then. Whatever it takes to get this thing built.
Okay.
All right. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
So, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'll move we adjourn.
I'll second motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.